What's up, y'all? Welcome to Carolina Takedown Talk, episode number 21. We are a North Carolina wrestling podcast presented to you by Carolina's Mat News. Make sure you check out Frank Smithwick and all his social media stuff. Man, no one covers North Carolina, South Carolina wrestling like that guy, so check out his stuff.
We're also brought to you by the Recruiting Accelerator. If you guys want to wrestle in college, guys and girls, you want to wrestle NAIA, JUCO, D3, D2, D1, anywhere, you want that opportunity and you want to find out how to get in touch with coaches, how to interact with coaches, and how to really just handle the recruiting process, get a hold of Tanner Sewell with the Recruiting Accelerator, and he's going to set you up, and make sure you guys tell him that Carolina Takedown Talk sent you. All right? Now, here we go.
We are excited, guys.
Yes.
The high school seasons get ready to kick off.
Yep.
Super 32 is kind of like the igniter for the whole season. Super 32 starts, North Carolina high school practice to kick off a week or so after that, and man, it's going to be good. It's here. The season's here. That was one of the things we talked about, Rhett, that the pushback season kind of sucked, but we went state tournament,
back already.
Fargo, and back already at Super 32, so we didn't have to wait long. So
we're back at it, and I think we're sending some good kids up to Super 32 this year.
Yeah, man. It's back in Greensboro.
It is.
I love it back in Greensboro. I know there was a lot of talk on some of the national podcasts, like, man, hopefully this changes it and they can go to Myrtle Beach, or they can bring it to the central regions of North of America, or maybe even the West Coast. I know people have mentioned all that, but it's great to see a North Carolina tournament with North Carolina roots stay here in North Carolina and it being in the Greensboro Coliseum. So, man,
also it gives me hope that we're going to be back in the Coliseum for the state tournament this year.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, I hope that us being able to go to Super 32, have the numbers that we are going to have there, I hope that gives us a case to bring it back
100%.
and let us have the state tournament in the same building again this year, because we're going to talk about it a little bit later. We're going to talk about so of course we're going to talk about Super 32, but we're going to talk about the team race. We're going to kind of kick off the high school season with that, and but with that being said, I really hope that us being able to be at Super 32, we're going to be able to be back at the Greensboro Coliseum to see this state tournament.
Yes.
Because man, I missed it last year. I know you did.
Man, so much. It's one of my favorite things. So, man, I think so. I think we're gonna be back in the Coliseum. Everything's pointing that way as far as like if we're doing Super 32 there. I feel like we'll be able to do the state tournament there. We'll just kind of see how that shakes out as we go.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Super 32 is like the NCAAs of high school wrestling. It's the one national high school tournament, folk style wise, that I really get into. Other than that, folk style high school national tournaments, really, I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean, there's Virginia Beach, but those still have it's only freshman, it's only sophomore, it's only junior. This is the baddest high school kids in the nation. And we do understand that some kids are playing football.
Yeah,
I know that's a big thing with like the southern states. I don't really think they have that issue up north, or some of the Midwest states.
It's a big thing here in North Carolina.
It's a big thing in North Carolina.
And speaking of that, though, special shout out to Chase Creighton.
Yes.
Right? This man is going to play football. I don't know if it's a bye week or not, but I'm assuming they don't have one. Play football on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Wrestle Super 32 Saturday.
It's a bad man.
That's impressive. No matter how he does, he can go 0-2 barbecue at Super 32. Yeah. I don't care. Just to be able to do that
0-2
turnaround.
Barbecue, that's your new statement.
Yeah. Just to do that turnaround is not easy, especially because he's going to have to weigh in on Friday.
Yeah.
So that's tough, man. And so Chase, hats off to you, dude. I think that's really impressive. And I'm glad you're doing it. I think more guys should. I know it's difficult, but I think they should give it a whirl. I mean, this is the biggest folk style national tournament in the country.
Yeah.
And it's here in our backyard. So why not test yourself? Why not? More college coaches will be at this than any other thing except for Fargo and maybe Cadet Nationals. But they're there. They're looking. They're watching. Not just D1. All the coaches are going to be there. So, speaking of Super 32 talk, before we get deep into it, because I want to know what your thoughts on our Super 32 short series. Kind of tell me who I missed. There's a kid, I didn't see him register on the entry list. His name's Thomas Booker. Didn't really have this great season last year. He really wasn't even on my radar, to be quite honest. And then this guy, Grappler Fall Classic, he goes out, places, has a great tournament. He's a dark horse kid, unsurprisingly, right? Dark horse is on a roll here. And he goes out to the Honey Badger and beats Jack Jarvis, state champ, 4A state champ from Davie, and then immediately beats Seth Blackledge in the finals. So 2 state champs in a row.
Yeah.
And in a preseason tournament, man, so he's on fire right now. I'm really excited to see what he develops into as the season gets going. Really looks to have jumped considerable levels. Like I said, I didn't see him on the Super 32 list. If I missed him,
I think it's Thomas Brooker. I think it's a Brooker.
Okay.
I think he's from Hickory Ridge High School, 182.
Yep.
It's Brooker.
Is he on the list?
Booker. Yep, he's on the list. He is
Somewhere
there.
I saw Booker.
182.
Brooker.
He will be there.
He will be there. So Thomas Brooker, I'm putting you on. I didn't mention your name in the dark horses or who college coaches were watching. I'm inserting him in there though because that kid, to beat 2 state champs back-to-back, place at Grappler Fall Classic. He's on tear right now. Hickory Ridge High School's got a good one, I think, and he's in the best spot maybe of anybody to kind of hit on a surprising run.
Right.
And then there's someone else that I didn't mention this guy's name in the Super 32 shorts because I saw his name on the registration list, and then when I was looking for this guy's name in particular when I went to do those, and I didn't see it. I must have just missed it, just completely missed it. Carson Floyd.
Yeah.
We talk about him a lot on this podcast. We already know what he can do. He made a deep run last year. He went back and forth with his teammate.
See him on the podium.
Yeah, he's going to place, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. He's another guy that can make a deep run to place. Carson Floyd, you know I'm always talking about you, so you know I'm high on you.
Yeah.
You're going to kill it this weekend. I'm impressed by you, and I can't wait to watch you, bud. So, Rhett, I got to know, what guys did I not talk about that you think I should have on our Super 32 short series? And if you haven't checked that out, guys, go to our Instagram page.
Yep.
I did a couple topics: who's going to win it for North Carolina, or a chance to win it, who's going to go on deep runs, dark horses, college coaches who they should really be dialed in on that I think they need to scoop up as fast as they can, and some other topics on there as well. So what do you think, Rhett?
Well, the first one, it's a little update. We got the news this morning that Devin Bell, Campbell commit, will not be wrestling at Super 32.
Yeah, bummer on that one.
I think he got banged up at a previous tournament, and it's kind of one of those that you kind of got to make a business decision of, we've got the rest of this season to go through. Mm-hmm. His goal was to be in a D1 room, and he's committed to Campbell.
Yes,
And so I know that I believe his dad or Devin put out a post today, that he's not going to be able to go to Super 32. He's pretty bummed out about that. But he will be up there Saturday for the Campbell Orange-Black duel, getting to see his future teammates there.
Yeah. Speaking of the Orange-Black duel, right? Man. Don't you have something you want to tell the people?
We've got some pretty cool news. We've teamed up with Campbell here over the summer. Coach Sentes was awesome enough to let us drop in, and I mean, whenever I say drop in, it was. We were driving by.
Yeah, and when Rhett says we, he really means him. Rhett orchestrated all of it, and he's the one that's been kind of keeping that relationship, talking to Coach Sentes and stuff. So
right, I mean, and just showed us, gave us a tour, beat my butt in a ping pong match, and just kind of like you said, we've kind of kept that communication going, and he invited us down, and I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of commentating for the Orange-Black duel. I'm pretty excited. I'm actually really excited, man. It's an awesome opportunity with a really cool program that I think is on the up and up. I mean, I was talking with one of the local high school coaches here, Ray Ford. He's taken over at East Henderson, and we were talking about it, and I think that Campbell might end up in top 15 this year.
Yeah,
top 20, top 15.
They got the horses.
And he kind of looked at me sideways, and when we went down the roster, it's just one of those things that they don't have anybody that you look at and go, oh my gosh, like their 197's a monster, but they're all studs. Like they're all good. Solid.
I really like the Hopkins kid at 184.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm really excited to see who their starters are going to be Saturday. It's going to be a really cool event. It's the same day as a football game. They're doing it outside, so out on the campus. Their campus there is beautiful. So I'm really excited for that opportunity to be up there, and really thankful for the opportunity that we got to go, or that we're getting to go.
Yeah. So Rhett will be there. Yeah. He's going to be commentating.
So if you're not going Super 32, come on out to Bowie's Creek, Campbell's University, or Campbell University.
Rhett won't be at Super 32 because he's going to be at the Orange and Black duel commentating that. Frank is not able to make Super 32. Yeah. He's got some stuff going on that he needs to take care of, and I will not be there either, which is a bummer. I was planning on going. Rhett and I were really planning on going until this opportunity came up for him.
Right.
And then I just kind of made the decision that's not something in the cards for me right now, but it doesn't mean we won't be covering it. Rhett's going to be on it. I'm going to be on it on our social medias.
Send us videos, send us pictures, just like always.
And I'm going to be doing some update videos after the rounds and kind of putting maybe some pen to paper, or typing is more like it, about some thoughts and paths that guys have to go through to place as they get deeper in the tournament.
Right.
Things like that. So we won't lack on our Super 32 coverage, but we won't be there as much as we want to be. But check out the Orange Black duels, the wrestle-offs, and listen to our boy Rhett Hoy here.
We're excited for it. But back to Super 32. Man, I think there's two really big ones. Or there's a few that I think you missed. First one's going to be Brant Fagerman from Huff. Yeah. I think he is solid. And there's been a lot of talk about workout partners. This guy comes back with, last year worked out with Richard Trainer. Mm-hmm. Army, West Point. I mean, he's popping up everywhere. I don't know if you follow Army wrestling on Instagram, man, but this guy is everywhere. And so I think we might have a shot of he might see the mat this year. We'll see. I don't know.
I think it's gonna be a little later in his career,
but anyways, back to Brant. Just the kid's a hammer. Great coaching. Coach Rogers down there, and great program. Great practice partners. I really think that he is going to make a run. And with that being said, I do need to go ahead and give a quick shout out to Lil Mar, Marcus Jackson. I'm not sleeping on you. Okay, I'm definitely not sleeping on you again this year. I'm on the train. I'm on the hype train. I do really think that those two have a really good shot at putting it together and placing it at 32.
Yeah,
and if college coaches need some smaller guys, which I feel like every college coach does, those are two of the best ones in our state, along with Matthew Rowland, which you already talked about him from Pinecrest. But I think that those are some of the best guys in the state that's available. And then one more that I think you're kind of sleeping on a little bit. Maybe you're not anymore.
Yeah,
I told you. I saw him wrestle live last year at 3A State. I saw him win a state title. He's a monster, Aldo Hernandez. I'm super excited to see him at 32. Super excited.
You came back from the state tournament and you were just so hype on Aldo Hernandez, and I believed you. I feel like he's really good. And then I can't remember if it was on air on our last podcast or a couple podcasts ago, or off air. You were like, Ethan Shell, Aldo Hernandez, who you pick? And I said Ethan Shell like before you finished the sentence, and it was tight. It was a tight match, but Aldo Hernandez won.
And I did pick Aldo. I do want to put that on record.
Rhett was all in, and man, he proved you right and proved me wrong.
He's a monster, man. Another one's going to be Brady Ross. I think he's just a local guy. I mean, not local guy, but North Carolina guy that he works hard, tough kid. Fundamentally sound, really good technique. I really think he's got a chance to put it together. I think a lot of it's going to be, just like any national tournament it's going to depend on where he falls in that bracket.
Yeah, the draw is going to be super important.
The draw is massive.
So important for all these guys.
I mean, it really is, because who knows who you draw that first round. It's not like a state tournament where the one seed's going to wrestle four.
And the brackets are massive.
They're massive. Exactly. And so you kind of never know. It's really up to the luck of the draw.
Good point.
And it's just who's ready to come and wrestle. And most of the guys that we've talked about have been pretty active this offseason.
They've been active for sure.
I know Marcus Jackson placing it at the Grappler.
Yes. Man,
I think he looks great right now.
He looks great right now. And that's why I mentioned him in the Super 32 short. I think it was the one I left him off of the Dark Horse.
The Dark Horses.
And that's where Brant and Marcus were kind of commenting. I left him off on that one on purpose. I hope they watched the who college coaches should be watching. I left them off the dark horses because
I would add Brant to that one as well.
Yeah, I just think college coaches should be super dial in on Marcus,
Brent, and Aldo,
and just really, really putting their chips all in on Marcus Jackson.
Right.
As far as a kid that they need to get in their college room.
Yeah. And one more the coaches I think should really be watching is he's a private school kid, so we don't get to see him a lot.
Yeah, especially against
last year,
public school kids.
Especially last year with COVID, maybe this year. Maybe we're hoping that it's going to be more of a regular season.
Yes.
So we're going to see some individual tournaments, and we might get to see him match up against some of our big name kids. But Trey Wilfong,
yeah, man. After that Virginia Beach tournament, so
he's a hammer. I don't know if any colleges are looking at him. If they're not, they need to.
He's still young, so they might not be completely on. He might not be on their radar completely, but
if he's not, they
should, especially being young and like a middle to upper weight.
Already wrestling really well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to kind of see, is he the real deal? I feel like he has been proving it at some really tough tournaments, but Super 32 is a different animal. Can he go out there? Can he get a few wins together? Can he place? What can he do? Because let's be honest, the private school scene isn't exactly the toughest in the state. I don't mean to bash any private school kids because there has been some
there's some studs. Really good kids that come out, but as far as depth, it's not there.
Right, exactly. And so I'm excited to see how he does. And then one more that I want to talk about kids that I feel like I've said one more probably 3 or 4 times.
Keep it coming.
I just keep on thinking about kids, and that's an awesome state to be in. We've got the Baglios that you talked about, like all the guys that Ryan's already talked about on our shorts. We're trying not to talk about everybody right now because we've got those shorts. We're trying not to be too redundant. But Jacob Woodburn from Page High School. My brother helped him out whenever he was at Page in Greensboro, and this kid's been a hard worker ever since my brother knew him. Great family, tough kid, and so I'm really rooting for him on a personal level. But I really think that this could be a really big breakout tournament for him. I think he could really put some things together. And do really well.
He had a deep run. I'm pretty sure he made. I have to go back to the bracket, but I am like 80% sure he made the blood round at Super 32 last year, and then his season didn't materialize the way he was hoping. Right, he got injured.
Right,
and the state tournament had a tough draw on top of just coming back from injury. And who knows I don't know if he was 100% healthy even going into that match.
Right.
I'm not sure. I know there was talk maybe of him not even making it back for the end of the year. So for him just to be there was great.
I hate to do this, but I got one more.
Throw it on.
I got one more.
Throw it on.
The big boy, Jameer. I'm going to butcher this again, but Ferrier.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it, for Rear maybe.
Yes.
Naval Academy commits. One of the few big guys that we really have going.
I know. He's a big football player too, right? And I wish Cody Hardy was going.
Yes.
He had a great Super 32 last year.
He did.
I know he attended probably because there was no football going on during Super 32 last year.
Right, and so
that helped us out in the upper weight
because he's a big football player.
Yeah, that's why
Sakari's solid one.
Sakari Morrison won't be at Super 32 because he's a big football player as well.
Right.
So it's kind of.
So I'm excited to see what Jameer does. I got to watch him last year at the state tournament. State finals didn't end up the way he wanted it to. Literally, I think he lost that match in like the last 10, 20 seconds. I mean, something ridiculous. But excited to see what he does. And then I feel like we can't talk about Super 32 in North Carolina and not bring up Joe Seeley.
Yeah.
I know we talked about him in the shorts already on the one to win.
There's really 2 kids, right, that can win for North Carolina.
Yeah.
One is Joe Seeley, and I'm telling y'all, I don't think enough people thought hard enough about what he did at cadet trials.
Right.
Like, he went down to the wire with Levi Haynes, who, if you didn't see Flow Wrestling's Instagram about 2 weeks ago, they said, "Hey, Penn State, check out your next star. It's Levi Haynes." They're trying to hype up Super 32, and they're showing Levi Haynes footage. and he wrestled at who's number 1 this fall as well. Levi Haynes did, and Joe Seeley was right there to beat Levi.
He was in that match
at the cadet trials. So Joe's right there. Now he did take a loss at Journeyman. I think it was Journeyman, but man, he's going to continue to get better. He's up there at Wyoming Seminary, training with some of those coaches, getting different looks, getting different partners. Man, like we said originally on the podcast way back when we started this thing, is if you are a North Carolina kid, we're going to root for you through and through. I don't care, Joe Seeley.
If you were here for a month, a year, we don't care. We're rooting for him. We're rooting for Jax.
Yeah.
We want both of you guys to do great, to do big things.
And then the other kid that could win is Kyle Monteperto, right? He's in the thick of things. He placed last year. I mean, he had 2 razor-thin losses to take 5th, so he's right there. I know there are
some rumors he may not be wrestling, but I haven't really seen anything from him. No. So
I assume he's going to be there.
I know he's registered.
Yeah, he's registered. He wrestled that Grappler Fall Classic. Now he didn't have
that's what we go off of.
Grappler Fall Classic that he wanted. Yeah. But man, anybody who says that he is not in the thick of things to win it is lying to themselves, because he's right there.
Yeah, man, it's just I'm looking at this list and I just get really excited, man. Grayson Harris, Cam Stinson,
so many kids I did not talk about.
Yeah, Cam Stinson,
Braden Mejia, Brock
Aiden McCafferty.
Yeah, man, he's been looking great lately.
Yes, he really has. Maxwell Keel, stud, just Charlie Sly, young guy that
Alex Hopper from Laney has been looking really good lately.
The Murray brothers, Brady Ross. I mean, I know we already talked about them.
Stud. I think we've sent in like a good crop of kids
from Northwest Guilford.
The one kid I did mention on the shorts was Jacob Cox. I'm telling y'all, watch out for Jacob Cox. He's going to go on a deep run this weekend.
I'm really excited to see it. But good luck to everybody at 2 for 32.
Yeah, man.
All right, go out there.
Rooting for you. We'll bring the best coverage we can from what we're doing. Like I said, Rhett's going to be commentating. Frank will make it. I won't make it, but we're going to try to pump out some stuff for you. I'm pretty sure Jason Fulmore from Southeast Wrestle is going to be there, so go say hey to him. That guy, no one covers high school wrestling like that guy, I feel like.
He's the man.
He is, he does all that website of all the high school wrestling in Southeast by himself. I help out very, very minimally, and very, very, very minimally lately. I've been doing pretty much nothing lately, just based off of work commitments right now. But that guy's the man. Yeah. He'll take photographs, you guys. He's awesome. He's awesome. So go say hey to Jason.
Yeah.
Send us your videos. Let us know how everything's going. Anybody want to send us some updates, they can. I'll be following it through Flow Arena and all that. But Rhett, Let's turn our attention a little bit to the team race. I cannot wait.
Season's almost here. Man. Let's go.
Y'all can ask Rhett. It was probably a day or 2 after the state tournament, and I was already sending Rhett like, oh man, this is how many points this team returns. This is these many teams move from 2A to 3A. Oh man,
I think that's the first thing we need to talk about.
It's wild.
And it may jump out of order, and I know my OCD is going to kick in a little bit there, but man, 3A got
loaded.
Ridiculous.
3A is going to be the most fun classification this year.
Ridiculous.
I know there's a lot of argument, and
I just hope to God, like I said, man, please, NCHSA, please
put us in the Coliseum.
I gotta be able to see all of it. I cannot take not being able to see the 3A state tournament this year, and also not being able to see Kyle Monteperto, Any of the guys. Not being able to see Avery, not being able to see the 4A team race.
Gage Williams, seeing some of our 4A guys. Last year was cool.
Bridgeport Coliseum.
As far as, I always try to see the positive things. So it's cool to dial in on one classification, but I literally had no idea what was going on, minus what Rhett and Frank were sending me.
Yeah.
And I couldn't check track because I was busy doing the work at 2A. So I gotta get back in the Coliseum. I want to see it all. I gotta see this team race. I want to see 4A's team race. I want to see Mount Pleasant, what they're gonna do. We're gonna talk about all this, but I want to be back in the Coliseum so I can see it all.
Yes.
But 3A is gonna be loaded, and man, a lot of people talk like 3A is the toughest, 2A is the toughest, 1A is the toughest, 4A is the toughest. I don't really give a darn about all that. I think people spend so much time looking at the toughest, and because they want to have the bragging rights or whatever.
It's a pride thing,
I guess.
Which is fine.
I don't really care about that. I just look to see which one's going to be the most entertaining in a certain year. Yeah. I think this year, 3A is going to be the most entertaining classification. Yes. So, but let's start at the top because my OCD wants us to go straight down
got
here.
it.
So 1A,
Avery.
The big storyline is Avery's going to run away with it again.
How close? To me, the question is how close can Robbinsville get?
Yeah, Robbinsville returns 5 state champs with Ansley Fink, Kyle Fink, Jay Noel, Wachacha, and the man Cage Williams, right?
Yes.
Speaking of which, Fink is going 82, and Cage Williams is going 195. Yeah, Cage Williams is the one guy I really wish was going to
But another big football player.
Apparently he's a stud football player. I'm seeing his name everywhere in our local area as far as football scores stuff goes or whatever. But yeah, Fink's going to go 82, and Williams is going to go 95.
Nice.
So they've returned 5 state champs, and they're not even close. Not even close, guys. The returning points, Avery still has like a 40-point spread.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to be close. You're a Charter.
I think that Robbinsville has the best shot.
Yes.
At touching Avery.
I agree.
Right?
Man. I agree.
And I think that we really might get to see that. I know that both are slated to be at the Inca Duels.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So I think that
maybe we'll get that in a duel.
Yeah, I think I might have to.
Which I think a duel is more interesting because I know Robbinsville.
Yeah,
they don't have holes per se. Like they might not have the studs starting to win state titles. Right. I mean, they do. They have 5, but
yes,
to keep up with Avery, they're not going to have all those to fill in. But in a duel, I think they can match up better.
Yeah.
But man, I think it's Avery. Then Robbinsville is kind of a tier. It's like we're thinking about tiers. Tier 1, Avery by themselves. Tier 2, Robbinsville. Tier 3, you got UR Charter, Rosewood, and there's a team that no one's talking about. At least I haven't heard anybody else. Mount Airy.
Yes.
Mount Airy is going to be really good this year, guys. They return a couple placers and 2 state champs. Now, one didn't win last year, one 2 years ago, but they're going to be in the thick of things to maybe even unseat Robbinsville if things go wrong Robbinsville's way. You know, if things kind of unravel for Robbinsville at the state tournament, Mount Airy's going to be right there. And I know last year we got a lot of UR Charter people all over us. Hey, we're going to be Avery. We're going to be Avery. We're going to be Avery. And I think they're already starting that talk this year, guys. I think you're great. What you did for our state, stepping up and taking the state tournament last year, amazing.
Yes.
You have a great program as well. You won state titles.
No doubt. They do have an awesome program. I mean,
but if you think you're going to be Avery,
crazy.
You're crazy if you're thinking you're going to be Avery this year.
So I will still go on record again this year, and I will say, tournament team duel. Maybe not duel just because duel anything can happen, but tournament team wise, I don't think anyone touches Avery.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man.
I don't know if anyone can beat Avery in the state of North Carolina right now.
They're going to be pretty amazing. They got a squad for sure. So,
but I'm excited to see that one. But the one that looks pretty new and it's kind of anybody's race, and I think we're going to see the passing of the guard here to a new team. Someone who really did do really well last year. There towards the end of the season, and it's Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, Mount Pleasant. They made me look like a fool at the 2A state tournament.
Yeah,
and because I was like, Ford Cata.
They ran away with it.
And Mount Pleasant did the thing and won the 2A state tournament. Big semi-round. They return a lot of points. They got Kyle Picker back. David McCreachan's back. Right? They Chase Creighton's back. Right? 3 state finalists right there. And they returned some points. And I know as they were walking out of the gym, their coaches turned around. Were like, we're ready to do it again next year. We got some good talent coming up from our middle school ranks. So, man, if they're feeling good about it, and then it helps them too. Ford's gone, Cata's gone, First Flight's gone, Crotan's gone, Pisgah's gone. So they really think it's theirs. I know they lost a couple points with Klutz and Miller are gone, but I'm telling you. They're to me are the front runners.
They're gonna have Bandy's. They have Newton Conover. I think Newton Conover. I mean, they're always solid.
Yeah, that's the thing for me. That's the biggest question. Who comes back?
Who fills the gap?
Is it West Lincoln and Newton Conover who have kind of been like the 2A staples?
Is it RS Central?
Is it
Shelby? Is it North Wilkes, Surrey Central?
Someone
West
like that
Wilkes is one of the Wilkes.
Or is Reedsville, who has kind of been lurking in that top 10 range, and then they kind of shot up to number 4 last year. Are they going to make a run at it? Now, I know they graduated some points, especially big points with Elijah Boyd, but I'm telling you, those boys, they're going to have some more studs rolling in, led by R.J. James, one of my favorites in the state. I love how that kid wrestles. So
I think we're overlooking one team.
Who's that?
West Lincoln.
Yeah, West, that's what I'm saying, is West Lincoln, they're always at the top.
Yes.
They're always at the top. And I feel like a lot of times when they get counted out, they wrestle even better. Yeah. I remember it was like 3 or 4 years ago maybe now where everybody thought it was going to be Ford, and West Lincoln upset Ford in the state dual playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So West Lincoln, Butch Ross always gets those guys ready. They have a great feeder program, which we all know obviously helps.
Yes.
So who's going to emerge?
Yeah.
I think right now you say Mount Pleasant's the favorite. They got the most points returning. Yes. Reedsville may be a tier 2, but man, I feel like that one's going to be kind of like you said in the beginning, like anybody's ball game for 2A. So who's going to
fill that gap? I do think it is Mount Pleasant. I do think it is their tournament. Just personally, I don't think it's not Avery in 1A. It's not a race for second. Okay, no. I don't think that they are that dominant yet.
Yeah.
Or they haven't shown it yet. They might be.
They might be.
That's the thing. They might be.
Especially now with the new 2A.
We can't doubt them.
Right? What's the new 2A?
I mean, after what they did last year, we can't doubt them.
And they have a lot of kids.
We'll see how it goes.
They're right there in that Charlotte area with Dark Horse and everything going on right there.
A lot of kids that are wanting to get better too.
So,
but we're going to jump up to the most insane.
Yes, 3A is going to be nuts. And now, Rhett, can you remind me, because I'm having just kind of like this brain lapse here, who won 3A last year? Can you tell me?
Some green and yellow team.
Well, what's their school name?
Yeah, I think I'm just forgetting. No, it's Central Cabarrus. Man, you guys put on a show.
Forget that.
He hasn't.
I bring it up every chance I get.
Yeah, he does.
Central Cabarrus is back. And they're loaded, right?
Yeah.
They still have Marcus Jackson, both Baglios. They are going to be at the top of the heap as far as teams go.
Yeah.
But, man, 3A, right?
Holy cow.
Here comes Ford. Here comes Cata.
First Flight.
Here comes First Flight, who has a bunch of studs. They're a great tournament team, right? Here comes 2A powerhouse Croatan, who hasn't had the past couple years they want, but I'm telling you, they'll be back, right? They're rebuilding. Orange, right? They're a team that hasn't had a couple years that they wanted, but they'll be back.
Yeah. Fike is still in 3A. They were solid last year. CB Acock.
Yes, North is here. Anka's here.
Yeah, North Henderson.
Stuart Kramer's here, right?
So St. Stephen's. Ford, man, like, this is insane. I'm sitting here, I'm looking right now at the entire shakeup of 3A, and all the different conferences. And there's some crazy conferences in here that I'm really excited to see how it shakes out. I mean, one of a really crazy one for me is this, the Western Foothills. You got East Lincoln, Ford, Hickory, North Iredell, North Lincoln, St. Stephen's. West, it's
gonna be fun, man.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And to not veer from the team race thing, but man, we're gonna have Mejia, both Baglios, Aldo Hernandez, Marcus Jackson, and Kyle Monteperto, all in the same weight range, somewhere probably between 113 and 132.
Someone's gonna be in there.
If you guys didn't follow me, that's like 6 state champs in a 4 weight class range. We're going to have state champ on state champs matchups, guys, and it's going to be freaking awesome. I'm pumped for that.
I'm going to go ahead and request it now. When we are back in the Coliseum, start announcing the state champions earlier.
Yes, that's what we talked about.
Start announcing the state champs earlier.
Round one.
Give these kids their
defending
credit.
State champ on Matt, whatever. I think
returning state champ, defending state champ. Whatever you want to do. I don't care. Give these kids their credit.
And it builds a better fan experience.
It does.
You have so many people there that are parents that don't really know what's going on.
Or people that have wrestled I mean, you go to the state tournament in Greensboro, and you just see names after names. Mm. I mean, you just see all these faces of greats. You'll see Chris Bullens. You'll see, Byron Sigmund's. He's still coaching. So, of course, he's there. But you just see legends that those guys may not all still watch this, follow the season. Going on. And then you also see guys that they wrestled in high school for 2 years or 4 years. They loved it. And they go to the state tournament because it was the best experience of their whole life, their entire career, that they qualified. Give the fans the best experience, okay? Tell them who to watch. Yeah. Show them who.
State champ on Mat 8.
We want to grow our sport, right?
And then I think we should be announcing team race, too.
Yes.
After, I know they put it up on the board, but I know, man, let's fire it up, especially when it's close.
Keep that
this one's going to be.
Right, so, keep that going. But, I mean, we want to grow our sport in the state of North Carolina. Then let's put the best product we can out there. And the best product that we can is giving our best kids the credit they deserve and putting eyes on them. That's one of the reasons that we started this, was because we wanted to. 100%. One, we love wrestling. One, we love North Carolina wrestling, right? We want this to grow and spread. But we want to give the kids the credit they deserve, right? Mm-hmm. So, North Carolina, come on, state tournament. It's so small. It's such a small thing. Yeah, it changes the entire experience.
It's not like we're asking for a whole lot or anything. Yeah. It's a sentence, right? A couple sentences or whatever.
The 3A is absolutely.
It is. I mean,
insane.
To me, I don't know, man. It's hard to kind of narrow down teams. I think Ford and Canada are going to be right there in the mix to win.
Yeah.
They are going to have too many studs. Ford's got this kid coming in, Carter Floyd. He's wrestling about 113 right now.
He's going.
It's going to be so good. South Oregon's going to be in there.
Yes.
But with Carter Floyd coming in to mix with those lightweights that they have already with Mejia and Hunter Clark, and then you have Carey and Burkett in there too. I mean, that's a lot of studs, and that's a lot of points. But then you got Cata, who's got their crew. They got Brady Ross, Aiden Curry, Collins Perto, and then they have a bunch of other guys that are really good as well.
Mountains in
and
there.
then you got the Vikings, right? You got Central Cabarrus.
Yeah.
And they're going to bring in Marcus Jackson, the Baglios, and the
rest. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Central Cabarrus. Does Central Cabarrus
they repeat? They're going to repeat. I think they're going to repeat. I think they find a way to get it done.
That's your pick now.
I'll say with that. I'm going to go with that. I won't back down. I picked them last year. They sent me a #1 fan shirt. Why should I back down now, right? Let's go. They're going to start a dynasty on the back of Marcus Jackson and the Baglios.
A little more.
Forward. Yeah, going forward. They're going to take it and run it back and shock everybody, because I think a lot of people are going to go, it's Ford or Cata.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are going to go Ford or Cata.
I think so.
I think I'm going to go different for right now for the season. So let's step up to 4A.
4A, yeah. It is. This is still an awesome team race. 4A is just so historic.
Let's run it back, right? I feel like this is the same team race we saw last year. You got Laney, who just got pretty much all their studs back. They really didn't graduate much. They got Devin Bell. They got Mark Samuel. They got Al Topper there now, right? They got a bunch of really good kids still, and they won the state tournament by a good bit last year, a good little margin. So why not them be the favorite? But Cardinal Gibbons, runner-up again last year. They're in the thick of things.
Piedmont.
You got. Carey had a decent tournament last year. They returned some studs. Pinecrest is going to have a better tournament this year.
Yes, Pinecrest is going to be solid.
Guaranteed their tournament, they will finish above their 7th place from a year ago.
Northwest Guilford.
Yep. And Southeast Guilford's coming up.
Southeast Guilford, and of course Northern Guilford.
Mooresville, Lake Norman.
Lake Norman. 4A is just so historic. You've got Carey. You've got Wake Forest High School. You've got Mooresville, you've got Lake Norman, you've got Laney, you've got Carey. I think I already said Carey. There's just so many that, it's just Pinecrest. I just get so excited. Lumberton, I think that Lumberton and Jack Britt are going to be two teams this year that really shock some people.
For sure.
Especially Lumberton. I think that they are on the rise. I think they're going to be absolute hammers. I think that they're doing all the right things down there. I think that, I'm a big Lumberton fan. I really hope they put it together. And then, of course, Jack Britt. I love Byron Sigmund. I've been around him my whole life. Big fan of his and what he does with that program. I'm excited to see. But then Laney, they're reloading. They're still solid. Huff is still they lost a few hammers, but I still think, I think the biggest question for Huff this year is, are they going to rebuild and have their solid kids that they have, or are they going to reload? Personally, I think they're going to reload, and I think that the most slept-on team this year, maybe not the most slept-on team, but out of the race from last year, I think Huff is the most doubted, and I'm behind them. I really think that Huff is going to do really well this year.
There's a kid on their team that's about to, he's a freshman, Jackson Rowling. I think I mentioned him a couple episodes ago, but...
106-pounder, isn't he?
Yeah, 106. Yeah. I think he's going to be really, really good right out the gate. And so if they have a couple more kids like that, they're going to be right back in the thick of things. Yeah. No doubt that they're one of those teams you can't ever count out with the coaching that they have, the program that they have. I think the team race is going to be fun for 4A. Yeah. I think 3A is the most entertaining. I've already stated that. But I think 4A is going to be super fun, too.
Like I said, please, please, please put us back in the Coliseum. I think everything I've seen hasn't strayed away from that. I think that we are planned and set. If I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments or anything else. Shoot us a DM, anything like that. But I think we are still slated to be at the Greensboro Coliseum.
As far as I know.
Back there this year.
As long as everything goes the way it's supposed to, I think. But
and of course, there's a few things that we can't control in the world still, but we're thankful that looks like we're gonna have another season here.
100%. And we're gonna go more in depth. When it comes to this team race as we kick it off. Rhett and I are gonna, as the season gets closer, we're gonna do like we did last year. The 1A and 2A title contenders and kind of talk individual weights, go weight by weight. Who to watch out for, who's going to win this weight class. We'll do 1A, 2A, 3A,
so like
4A.
Always, send us what you think on that. Yeah. Send us a DM. If you think your team's getting slept on, if you think you're getting slept on, guys, we have never shied away from a conversation. Okay? Ever. And that's one thing that why we love doing this. We love to talk. So if you think that we're sleeping on you,
send us a message.
Send us a message.
Let us know.
Send us a video of you wrestling. Send us a match. Send us some results. Whatever it is. I think the best thing would be to send us a match, right? Let us see you wrestle, and we might be sleeping on you, and like put yourself on our radar. If you think we're sleeping on you, if you think that we're sleeping on our team, just tell us.
And look out for on SoutheastWrestle.com. I'm going to be updating the big boards after Super 32.
Nice.
Letting you guys know who the top guys, who the top recruits are in North Carolina wrestling. And then make sure you guys go and like and subscribe our YouTube channel. Follow us all on social media. Good luck to all our guys at Super 32. Tune in to our next episode. We're going to start talking about title contenders, guys. You don't want to miss that.
And tune into Campbell University. I think they're going to live feed it. But if you're not going to Super 32, make it out there to Campbell. It's going to be an awesome event. And we're out.